What is the best loophole on an exam that you've ever witnessed? My calculus professor, Dr. Martinez, was absolutely notorious for his impossible tests. This guy took pride in failing students. Nobody had gotten an A in his class for 3 straight years. His final exam was worth 80% of our total grade, so if you bombed it, you were completely done. Dr. Martinez was one of those old-school professors who believed suffering built character. He would literally smile when handing back failed tests. The guy was ruthless and seemed to enjoy watching students struggle. 2 weeks before the final, he gathered everyone in the lecture hall to announce the rules. No calculators, no phones, no notes, no textbooks. You get a pencil and paper, that's it. Show all your work clearly or get 0 credit, even if your final answer is correct. My friend Jake raised his hand from the back row. What if we mess up our work and need to start over on a clean sheet? Dr. Martinez adjusted his glasses and shrugged. Bring extra paper if you want. I don't provide scratch paper. You're responsible for bringing whatever materials you need to complete the exam properly. Jake just nodded quietly, but I could see the wheels turning in his head. He had this mischievous look that usually meant trouble. The night before the exam, I went to Jake's dorm to study together. When I walked in, he was sitting at his desk with a massive pile of loose leaf paper, easily 300 sheets. I asked what he was planning to do with all that paper. Jake grinned. You'll see tomorrow. Trust me, I figured out how to beat Martinez at his own game. This is going to be legendary. Test day arrives, and Jake walks into the classroom carrying this enormous stack of paper. I'm talking like a ream and a half. Martinez notices the mountain of paper, but doesn't say anything since he specifically told us we could bring extra paper. The exam starts, and Jake immediately begins doing something absolutely brilliant. Instead of solving problems normally on 1 or 2 pages, he starts writing out every single step of every formula in massive letters across multiple sheets. One simple equation is taking him 5 full pages to complete. Dr. Martinez walks over, clearly confused by what he's seeing. Why are you writing so incredibly large? Jake looks up with complete innocence. You said show all work clearly. I'm showing every single step of my thought process, so you can see exactly how I arrived at each answer. The silly genius part was that Jake had spent weeks memorizing exactly which steps and explanations professors typically look for when grading math problems, so he was basically writing a detailed step-by-step tutorial for each question, making it completely impossible for Dr. Martinez to take points off for missing work. For a basic derivative problem that should take half a page, Jake was writing 3 pages explaining the power rule, chain rule, showing every substitution, every simplification, every algebraic step broken down into individual operations. Dr. Martinez kept walking by Jake's desk, watching this unfold with growing amazement and frustration. Jake was technically following every rule perfectly while making the grading process absolutely exhausting. Other students were finishing problems in minutes. Jake was spending 20 minutes per question, but his work was so thorough it looked like a textbook explanation. He was writing out definitions, theorems, showing alternative solution methods. Jake even started adding helpful notes like applying the quotient rule here because we have a fraction, and checking our work by plugging back into the original equation. By the time the 2-hour exam period ended, Jake had used 180 sheets of paper for a 12-problem test. Other students finished with maybe 10 pages total. Jake submitted what looked like a small book. Dr. Martinez stared at the massive stack in disbelief. This is going to take me hours to grade. Jake smiled. You did say show all work clearly, Professor. 3 days later, Dr. Martinez announced the results. Jake got a perfect 100%, the first perfect score in his class in over 3 years. Every step was so thoroughly documented that Dr. Martinez couldn't find a single point to deduct. The best part was Dr. Martinez was actually impressed. He asked Jake to become a tutor for struggling students because his work showed such clear understanding of the material. Jake basically turned the show all work rule into his greatest advantage. Dr. Martinez never specified a page limit again, but he did add maximum paper restrictions to his syllabus the following semester.